Big hello to you, Audrey Munnings, who was watching the live feed on Facebook, and everybody else. She says she says hi, ladies. Yeah, so a big hello to ya. Listen, guys, thank you all so much for an incredible week. We had a fantastic time, right? Today's show just capped off what was really a great week of wonderful shows and great interviews around this table. Looking forward to seeing you next week, where we'll have even more incredible shows. So you don't go anywhere, and see you right here on Monday. Thank you for your text messages, your live stream comments, your phone calls, and also thank you, Portia and Keishan. Yep. Stay exactly where you are. The news at 6 is straight ahead. Everybody have a great weekend. God bless.
The views and opinions expressed on this show or program are not a reflection of the Bahamas Radio Network and, as an extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
It's a part of all our lives. ZNS TV is where we go for information, entertainment, and enjoyment. ZNS is there with something for everyone.
Kids, lunch is ready.
ZNS TV, a part of our lives for 40 years.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up first at 6, laid to rest. Hundreds turn out to bid farewell to Teresa Moxie Ingram. Tourism record. Tourism's Director General says the Bahamas is trending on social media.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC every day.
Teresa Moxie Ingram has been laid to rest. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings. This is First at 6. Thanks for starting your weekend off with us. Her life was hailed as a personification of service and dedication to her Bahama land. The Honorable Teresa Maria Moxie Ingram, former cabinet minister, senator, and parliamentarian, was laid to rest today. An articulate spokesman for the Free National Movement, Moxie Ingram was an educator and an hotelier before entering frontline politics. She was active in politics and government for 15 years. Moxie Ingram died at her home on Tuesday, March 20th at the age of 64. Among the dignitaries attending today's official funeral at St. Agnes Anglican Church was Governor General Her Excellency Dame Marguerite Pinling, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis, former Prime Minister the Right Honorable Hubert Ingram, members of Parliament, the Senate, and representatives of the judiciary, as well as family and friends. Prime Minister Minnis remembered the former politician as a fighter, one in pursuit of perfection who gave just as much as she demanded.
Over the course of over a decade, she served in the highest ranks of politics and government. She was vocal in her support for equality for women in the Bahamas and pushed for gender access for women through education, skills training, and professional development. She played an important role in developing legislation for the FNM to improve opportunities for women in the Bahamas and to improve the lives of children.
Also making news first at 6 this Friday, government is looking to promote a healthier lifestyle and with that, change the items listed as breadbasket and price-controlled items to healthier options. During a town hall meeting at the T.G. Glover Primary School Thursday evening, the Minister of Health, Dr. the Honorable Dwayne Sands, noted that current breadbasket has not been changed for decades, and those items such as margarine, canned meats, and sugar have turned the Bahamas into an unhealthy nation. He says the Bahamas is ranked number 1 in cases of diabetes worldwide and number 8 in obesity, with 80% of Bahamians considered overweight. The health minister said the plan is to reverse that trend.
We believe that the social program that was appropriate, ideal, perfect in 1971 has led to the creation of a breadbasket which, having served the Bahamas for all these years, is no longer appropriate for 2018. And that the health challenges that we're seeing is in part due to the price control support of these breadbasket items, and that perhaps what we ought to do is to move to a better dietary approach.
Health officials plan to add items such as beans, peas, tuna in water, fresh oranges, and other items to the breadbasket to encourage better eating habits. Chief Nutritionist at the Ministry of Health, Camelta Barnes, again stressed that Bahamians are eating themselves sick.
Some of the major contributors to the rising levels of obesity and some of our non-communicable diseases that Minister Sands would have mentioned is too much fat, too much sugar, too much salt. Some of the foods, the current foods on the breadbasket list: corned beef, sugar itself, sweet milk, too much fat, too much sugar, too much salt. Interestingly enough, the World Health Organization recommends a mere 6 teaspoons of sugar per day.
In news from our #1 industry, first at 6, tourism figures continue to climb, with the Bahamas remaining a top destination in the region. Director General of Tourism, Joy Jibrulu, boasts that the Bahamas is recording double-digit tourism figures and trending on social media across the region and the world. She listed several reasons why.
Increased airlift. Of course, we can never discount having Baha Mar on stream, but it's every single property. When you hear Paradise Island, that they've had the numbers that they've had. In fact, they've experienced their very best season in about 20 years. So it's that everybody has done really tremendously well. We've been really proud of our social media marketing, the buzz that is created. It's created this destination of desirability. We're kind of sexy at the moment, and everyone wants to come and visit.
Tourism's Director General credited the high industry figures to the groundwork tourism officials have conducted over the past several weeks in an effort to get the message out that the Bahamas is the place to visit.
But I note that our competitors are doing something very interesting. They are including both stopover and cruise passenger visitors, and they nowhere meet our arrival figure. So if we look at it holistically at both our cruise arrivals and our stopover arrivals, without a shadow of a doubt, the Bahamas is #1. And the way we're trending, I think we're going to hold on to that for a while yet.
The Ministry of Tourism recently congratulated Canadian visitor Shirley Bond for traveling to the Bahamas for 40 years. She's been bestowed the prestigious title of Tourism Ambassador. She received a certificate of commemoration from Minister of Tourism and Aviation, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar, during a recent visit he made to the Bahamas' tourism office in Canada. Ms. Bond began traveling here to the Bahamas when she was just 16 years old and says what she loves about the Bahamas the most is its people. She's traveled to Freeport, Nassau, Eleuthera, and Abaco and hopes to visit the Exumas in the very near future. The Canadian visitor has even written a book titled Up in the Air with Bananas, a guide to traveling, which is about safety on an airplane and features a monkey traveling to the Bahamas. Well, we're just getting started. First at 6, find out who won the Cadet Teacher of the Year. We'll see you on the next side of the break.
BTC is giving the gift of rollover data, plus free unlimited WhatsApp calls, texts, pictures, and videos. Choose from our 1-day plan for $349, 7-day plan for $999, or a 15-day plan for only $29.99. We've even thrown in unlimited BTC to BTC calls and texts. Dial *203# to activate your plan today. Share every moment with BTC. Terms and conditions apply.
Every dream needs a gentle push. Every tomorrow needs a warm embrace. Every ambition needs hope to take flight and the faith to pursue a unique goal. At Commonwealth Bank, we make it happen for you. Today, tomorrow, and into the future. Commonwealth Bank. Everything we do it for you.
With KFC's Family Deal, everything is under control.
Dad genius.
Enjoy our family deal with 8 pieces of freshly prepared chicken, large family fries, and 4 biscuits. All for just $20 including VAT. KFC Nassau, it's finger-licking good.
Coca-Cola Bahamas has always been a strong community partner for us. They've supported and helped us to
reach hundreds of young men through Sprite basketball,
create a fun and interactive United FC,
go a little bit further for our animal friends,
feed thousands of Bahamians every year,
preserve our natural habitat,
and celebrate Bahamian culture and Junkanoo on Pastry.
The Caribbean Bottling Team is committed to the communities that we serve around the entire Bahamas.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
April is Autism Awareness Month, and Rawson Square recently came alive as a special group lit the area blue. DeAndre Williamson explains.
Autistic children and their parents participated in the launch of World Autism Awareness Month in Rawson Square, which kicked off with a lighted-up blue ceremony hosted by the Resources and Education for Autism and Related Challenges. Parents say REACH has provided them with support and educational materials on autism so they won't give up on their children.
Well, my son is 15 now. He was diagnosed at the age of 2. And the challenges that most parents face with children on the spectrum is the fact that there are very few therapists here to cater to the needs of children with autism. In the country right now, there are approximately 3 speech therapists that basically work with a population of 350,000 people. So there's a great need for more speech therapists. There is a need for more behavioral therapists and occupational therapists.
My son is 8 years old now, and I saw changes in my son at the age of 2. And since that said time, I've been an advocate for autism and related challenges. You know, I know there's, like I said, still a stigma attached. Persons still think it's taboo, quote unquote, to have a special needs child. But bring your children out. You know, early intervention is best, and it's now 1 in every 68 based on the studies we've been doing our research with the Center for Disease Control of America.
Jackie Wally Hilton says caring for an autistic child like her son William can require some assistance, which she received from the Department of Social Services, but getting that help wasn't easy.
I'd lost my job, like I said earlier, and I've asked social services to help in terms of just giving me the monthly stipend to get William his grocery, his lunch. He's not a fussy eater, he's not a fussy person, and it really was a struggle.
However, Oswald Rolls had this advice for parents of autistic children.
Be strong, you know. Some days can be better than others, but cherish the great days, and it'll be more better days than bad days. And continue to be encouraged, continue to have a support group.
Autism Awareness Month will be celebrated with lots of events, which include a fun run walk, a raffle, a jazz night, and a t-shirt day every Friday. For ZNS Network News, I'm DeAndre Williamson.
Mangrove Key High School student Kenton Wallace was announced as the Cadet of the Year in the Ministry of Education's Future Teachers of the Bahamas program. He was among several others receiving awards Wednesday evening during the opening ceremony of the national conference held at the British Colonial Hilton Hotel. The program started in 1995 in an effort to mentor potential future teachers. Bahamas Homeschool Association President Cedric Moss told the aspiring teachers to be effective, they must, among other things, recognize the critical role that parents play in their children's educational success.
You need to be willing to respectfully but firmly call them to fulfill the role that they have for the good of the child. So future teachers of the Bahamas, if you're going to inspire the whole child,
First, you must recognize that teaching is a vocation. Second, you must recognize that education is more than academics. And third and finally, and briefly, you must recognize that inspiration is more than motivation.
Gambia Primary School students got a treat last week from Sandals Royal Bahamian team members when they brought 200 toys at the school. The Christmas and Spring Toy Giving Extravaganza is an extension of last year's Birthday Bag Club that was started by the Sandals Foundation at the Sandals Adopted Primary School. Each student of Gambia Primary who performs notably well or shows improvement was gifted a toy. Children with birthdays during the academic year will also receive a toy of their choice. Now, over the Christmas holidays, Sandals also delivered 150 toys and edible treats to Gambia Primary, with Sandals general manager and team members dressed as Christmas characters, which also was made possible by the Sandals Foundation. Well, the much-anticipated Bahamas Red Cross Fair is all set for tomorrow at Government House, and Director General of the Bahamas Red Cross, Caroline Turnquest, noted that this year's theme is important because of the positive impact so many young people are having on the community.
We wanted to, bring in the youth, ensure that they are celebrated. There are a number of youth doing a lot of stuff around. You have the Eva Hilton Choir, for instance. You have, the different school project bands. And so a lot of young people are doing positive things. So we wanted to celebrate that and to make sure that the youth are on board. And we just want to draw a little focus to the youth.
Turnquest also said that there have been shifts through the years from the fair being a high society event to an event that is now enjoyed by the public.
Back in the day was more, especially the beginning, it was more a high-end social event. They had tea parties given by the Governor General's wives. And what I noticed that there were a number of beer gardens. There were, it was like a high social event. Really people look forward to that. I think over the years it has evolved more for the people, the entertainment for over the hill.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
Look at all the food!
The Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources presents the 2018 Agribusiness Expo, April 13th through the 15th at the Gladstone Road Agricultural Complex. Come and enjoy fresh fruit, vegetables, livestock exhibits, arts and crafts, fun for the kids, and deals galore.
You think you can get it any better than that?
Expo 2018, April 13th through the 15th on Gladstone Road. See you there.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. There were a number of record-breaking performances at last weekend's Carifta Track and Field Championships. As for the number of fans in the stands who actually got to see them live, it could have been better, but B3A's boss Rose Carey says it's understandable considering the time of year.
Anytime you have something over the Easter holidays, you will always be in competition. I know in 2013 it was a good turnout, but then again, when you look at the economics based with 2013 and 2018, there is a big significant difference. But overall, I wouldn't say we were disappointed with the crowd turnout, in terms of the gold and the silver and the bronze and the VIP, those sections were sold out. The general area, you saw a slight decrease in the turnout there, and some of the persons largely who came when they were purchasing tickets, they did not want to be on that Eastern Grandstand because they said, well, the sun is there, and so a lot of them opted. So you saw where the Western Grandstand was filled, and we did have not as much patrons in the Eastern Grandstand, but overall I would say that we were pleased with the turnout.
After winning the overall title of the Carifta Swimming Championships for the 4th time in the past 5 years, members of Team Bahamas treated to a reception before they left Jamaica. Among those on hand was the 242's Honorary Consul, Alveda Knight.
You see so much talent within our country, and it's absolutely amazing to know that these students are not only athletic, they're academic, they're well-spoken, they're well-behaved. It was just an absolute pleasure to see 36 amazing young Bahamians who I know will continue to carry our flag very high and very proudly.
The Cybots Basketball Club putting on its inaugural Easter AAU basketball tournament today and tomorrow at the AF Adderley Gym. It's the club's 3rd fundraiser for the year.
The awards alone are extremely expensive, so we're hoping that we don't dip too much into the funds that we have already made from our first two events, fundraising events, and we're hoping that we can source some funds and raise some funds as a result of this tournament. And I think the majority of it will probably be from our concession stand, and maybe some from the door.
The 2nd annual UB Fit 5K, 10K Fun Run Walk Bike Skate is set for tomorrow. Elite Wellness Solutions and Generali Bahamas both on board as corporate sponsors.
500 registrants last year. Elite was a community sponsor last year. We bumped up our sponsorship this year because we really do believe in what Candice and the team there at UB are doing with the UB Fit movement. And so we really just wanted to be an active participant. And being a proud alum of the University of the Bahamas, of course, this is something that it just made sense.
We have actually signed up a team. We have a team of 21 employees, and they've all signed up. They're also very active and excited about participating in the 5K and 10K Fun Run Walk. In addition to that, at the Health Expo, we will also host a booth where we will provide some type of treat for the participants once they return to the finish line, as well as provide information on our products and services.
And that is your first look at sports. Don't go anywhere. First at 6 is back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Financial dreams only become a reality when we make the commitment to ourselves and our financial future. Let Leno help you bridge your dream into a reality. Leno Corporate Services offer individual retirement plans, pension administration, investment management, brokerage and trading, accounting, payroll, and corporate services.
Leno, bridging possibilities. Contact us at 396-3225.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evil. Anywhere you are.
Big girls don't scream hot like Halloween, make me feel alive.
There's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evil.
We'll be with you through new beginnings and sunset endings. Through toil and many tears. Through the joys and many fears. For all of life's ever-changing moments, trust J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers for all of your insurance needs. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
It's a part of all our lives. ZNS TV is where we go for information, entertainment, and enjoyment. ZNS is there with something for everyone.
Kids, lunch is ready.
ZNS TV, a part of our lives for 40 years.
Fabulous living. You just can't get enough of exciting travel, of sensational adventures, of delicious food, of great homes, and never enough good friends. Fabulous living, Bahamian style. We do it all.
Now you can watch the ZNS network of channels absolutely free. That's right, ZNS is now broadcasting 3 separate channels free to air on Channel 13. One channel has the regular ZNS TV HD programming. One is the Parliamentary channel, and one is the 24/7 television community page. These channels may be accessed simply by attaching either a rabbit ears antenna or an indoor amplified antenna to the RF input connector on the back of your digital television or flat screen TV. Once the antenna is connected, select TV mode and choose Auto Scan, and your TV will automatically pick up Channel 13 at no charge. Once you're on Channel 13, just use the channel selector to go to each of the 3 ZNS free channels. Antennas are available on many sites online. Free TV, ZNS brings it back to you.
Welcome to the best of sports world.
Everybody, I on TV. Look, I on TV. Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Fontaine, do you see me? I on television. I gotta tell my girlfriend I on television.
Hello?
Babe, turn your television to ZNS.
Quick, I on television. I don't have a TV in here.
We have Wi-Fi though.
We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade now. You can watch it live from your phone.
You just have to download the app. All right, hold on.
Go to the App Store, type in ZNS, download the app, and you'll be able to watch ZNS straight from your phone. Hurry up and start over again.
Get your news and more anytime, anywhere with the new ZNS app. Stay connected from around the globe with our live stream news updates, all in the palm of your hand. You can also listen to the ZNS radio network for your favorite music. Go into your Apple or Google Play Store and download the ZNS app today.
Miss I's a star now. I still gotta pay.
In news in the region, the Antigua and Barbuda government hopes to pass legislation that would allow for marijuana to be grown under controlled conditions or with licenses and to be processed like any pharmaceutical in a laboratory that adheres to high standards. A statement issued after this week's cabinet meeting said that the newly elected government of Prime Minister Gaston Brown had invited a 4-person group, including 3 Canadians with an interest in producing medical cannabis. Former United States President Bill Clinton formally launched the Clinton Global Initiative Action Network on post-disaster recovery at the University of Miami in Florida this week, assembling a variety of stakeholders to discuss and develop solutions that address immediate and long-term hurricane recovery needs facing the Caribbean. Some of those solutions include training for 5,000 mental health workers in Puerto Rico, deploying nurses to the U.S. Virgin Islands to conduct vision, hearing, and dental screenings for 9,000 school children, and a new agency in Dominica providing funding for resiliency projects. And chairman of the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago says a 13-year-old Venezuelan child allegedly brought to Trinidad and Tobago and married a man who's 24 years old under the Native People of Venezuela rights is in state custody. Officials describe the matter as sensitive and that the authority has engaged several agencies, including the Venezuelan Embassy, for assistance. Trinidad and Tobago police said the 13-year-old was rescued last week from an apartment after being trafficked into that country.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather, pre-frontal trough has exited the Bahamas. Meanwhile, the frontal system itself falling apart with much of the stronger convection pushing towards the north and east over the Atlantic Ocean, and that will leave behind a little bit more stable conditions. But outside of our studios, we have a few clouds, your temperature at 82 degrees, relative humidity 57%. The winds are out of the north at 6 knots, barometric pressure 1,015.3 millibars. That is 29.98 inches, and it is rising. That's going to do it for your first look at weather. 6. Stay tuned, more weather is still to come.
Thanks so much, Basil. That does it for First at 6. It's time now for a check on stories making news around the northern Bahamas.
Prime Minister focusing on sustainable development, cab drivers looking for answers, and the Christian Council speaking out against the violence.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. The University of the Bahamas taking a leading role in igniting a formal and open discussion on sustainable development for Grand Bahama. During the opening of a 2-day conclave at the Grand Lucayan Resort, the Deputy Prime Minister outlined sustainable development goals adopted by the Bahamas and 192 other countries in the United Nations efforts to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure prosperity for all. Sabrina Brown has details.
Deputy Prime Minister the Honorable K. Peter Turnquest says sustainable development is fundamentally about a collaborative effort in advancing shared goals. He says the problems the country faces today are complex and demand more from the education system than is currently being delivered.
Our educational system still relies on the colonial mode of rote learning, which is only one of the ways it is currently outdated. We need a model that develops analytical skills and critical thinking in our young people. With this rapidly changing world, we are in uncharted territory in so many ways. So our future leaders need the power of their imaginations and the fullness of their creativity to think their way through solving problems.
The DPM says one of the ways sustainable development is being mainstreamed is through the National Development Planning process, which has specific focus on Grand Bahama in areas like food security.
Under the Bahamas Poverty and Discrimination National Development Goal, the target is for the Bahamas to be a nation free of poverty and discrimination, including discrimination based on gender, nationality, and disabilities. Grand Bahama is highlighted under this area when it comes to achieving food security and ending hunger. The plan calls for an expansion of farming in the Family Islands, with the allocation of Crown land for the creation of hydro farms and mariculture facilities in Grand Bahama.
The maritime sector is also a key area of focus.
The plan supports the relocation of the Bahamas Maritime Authority to Grand Bahama, and I can tell you that's difficult. Nassauvians don't like to let go. Leveraging the Grand Bahama Container Port and Shipyard to attract additional investments into Grand Bahama, and a communication strategy for a strengthening maritime sector.
Another aim of the national plan is for the Bahamas to have a competitive business environment for economic success.
The National Development Plan calls for the government to reduce the inefficiencies and overlaps identified in the current system and to remove the silos which lead to competition and turf wars. It calls for projects to be evaluated using clear, objective criteria that reduces political involvement and maximizes the value and benefits from the incentives provided. The plan also calls for a separate investment promotion arm or sister agency to focus on domestic and international promotions, including the promotion of Grand Bahama.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Cab drivers up in arms again. They claim that the business is in peril because of unfair competition. Tonight, a former president of the union is making an appeal on behalf of all cab drivers on the island. Taxi cab drivers on Grand Bahama say that they are at their wits' end when it comes to the conditions that they endure, and they are calling for all laws that govern the transport industry to be enforced. President of City Cab and former taxi union president James Kemp is calling on the Grand Bahama Port Authority to uphold a former agreement.
We worked with the Port Authority and we made the agreement, and we didn't like the agreement, but we tried for Disney. We bought Disney, and at the time it was to bring in Disney ship. They insisted on buses. We got the buses, invested our own building, everything into the busing, and they reneged. Well, here we are today. The tour operators was supposed to pay the union through the port $2 a head. They did it for probably a couple of months and they stopped.
He is also expressing concerns about the conditions in which the vehicles are housed. He says that they are expected to keep clean vehicles, but the dusty park area is not conducive.
If you look around, this is one of the holding areas for the taxis. If you see the filth, the nastiness. Guys, I just lost 3 batteries last night. People from the community come take the batteries. How do you replace it? You go to the port and you tell them? I said, they're irresponsible. Look at the space they have. See the space they have there? Empty space. Why can't these cars be in there? That's where they used to be with Mr. St. George.
Grand Bahama Taxi Union member Harold Curry also weighing in with concerns. For some time now, the struggle between taxi drivers and tour operators has been heated. Curry says that they claim that a certain tour company is allowed to operate above the law.
Everybody that comes in here on their own today, they're going on these tour operators because they have people on the ship selling it on the ship, which is illegal because the law states that it must be booked 1 day before the journey occurs, before that cruise ship leaves the destination. But they're allowing the road traffic, the Ministry of Tourism, the Ministry of Transport, they're all allowing these people to come here and break the law.
Both men say that cab drivers have had enough, and they are calling for resolutions before it's too late.
All we asking for law to prevail. We could come here and have JJ, jungle justice. We don't need that. I advocate and I will never, never mess up tourism or try to. And the people cheers, say you all should go and demonstrate and fight.
If the government don't do something about it, we will shut the whole place down one day, whether they like it or not. We don't want to do it because this is good for the economy and this is good for us. But if we're not making any money anyway, what sense let one man live and everybody else die? It don't make no sense.
3 persons injured today in an accident on West Sunrise Highway. The 2-car collision occurred around noon involving a silver 2010 Suzuki sedan and a black BMW. Reports say the Suzuki overturned off the eastern side of the road on impact. The female driver of the Suzuki and a male passenger and the driver of the BMW were all taken to hospital for medical attention. The female driver is listed in serious but stable conditions. Both vehicles were extensively damaged. Investigations are continuing into that altercation on Easter Monday that left 2 men dead. The disturbing incident sending shockwaves across Grand Bahama. Tonight, the Grand Bahama Christian Council is also weighing in, admonishing Bahamians to come together and take a stand against violence. Italia Hall has the story.
Preliminary reports.
According to police, the incidents took place at a birthday party on Xanadu Beach when some uninvited guests got into an altercation with some of the persons who were hosting the party. The video went viral on WhatsApp, showing the aftermath of the altercation. According to reports during that altercation, 44-year-old Nathan John of Pinders Point stabbed 31-year-old Rashid Gibson about the body. It is alleged that John also stabbed and injured several other persons attending the party. Senior immigration officer on Grand Bahama, Ruiz Gibson, the father of Rashid Gibson, then shot John with what police called a properly licensed firearm. Rashid Gibson and Nathan John were pronounced dead a short time later. The other persons who sustained injuries were taken to hospital by private vehicles. Now police say they have the gun in their possession, and unofficial reports say Ruiz Gibson is no longer in custody. The president of the Grand Bahama Christian Council calls it a sad situation that took place on a day that Christians around the world were celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ.
From the Grand Bahama Christian Council, we give our condolences to the family members. And then we see a father who's probably defending his son, trying to protect his son, having to make the ultimate decision, which leads to the loss of life. And it tells us that there's something out of place in our community that all of us need to cause all of us to look at ourselves, as a people, and see what's happening amongst us.
He says residents must pray for the community to ensure that these unfortunate situations do not continue to take place.
In my prayer is that we do not come to the place that we just see this as normal. This is just another activity of the day. No, I think we need to realize that these are the things we need to see how we can hinder from happening. And I encourage all of us as Christians to be praying for our community.
The president of the Grand Bahama Christian Council says the church has a major role to play in building the communities in a positive way. He says the church must become more unified and focus more on guiding young people.
How to solve problems without violence, how to deal with no, how to show each other courtesy and decency, and how important it is for us to realize that human life is very important and that we need to value one another, and we need to get that message out, and the church needs to get that message out more than ever.
It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us, the Bahamas Tonight. The Northern Edition continues in just a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
Musicians, churches, nightclubs, Radio Shack is now stocked with heavy-duty power amps, powered speakers, subwoofers, cordless and wired microphones, lavaliers, guitar strings, drumsticks, skins and accessories, guitar and bass amps, DI boxes, crossovers, line conditioners, percussion instruments, clarinet and saxophone reeds, PA systems, mixers, routers.
Tesla City Tours presents the first futuristic car show this Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m. at Seabreeze Vacation Villas, Port of Call Drive.
Everybody, I on TV. Look, I on TV. Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Bartender, do you see me? I on television. I gotta tell my girlfriend I on television.
Hello?
Babe, turn your television to ZNS.
Quick, I'm on television. I don't have a TV in here.
We have Wi-Fi, though.
We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade now. You can watch it live from your phone.
You just have to download the app. All right, hold on.
Go to the App Store, type in ZNS, download the app, and you'll be able to watch ZNS straight from your phone. Hurry up and start over again.
Get your news and more anytime, anywhere with the new ZNS app. Stay connected from around the globe with our live stream news updates, all in the palm of your hand. You can also listen to the ZNS Radio Network for your favorite music. Go into your Apple or Google Play Store and download the ZNS app today.
Miss I's a star now. I still gotta pay.
Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The results of the 2018 SECME competition are in. Students from various schools throughout the island captured many titles and were given awards at the Rotary Club of Lucaya's weekly luncheon meeting on Tuesday. SECME coordinator Dennis Knoll says he is pleased with the students' overall performance.
Challenge the students in things like essays, technical drawing, mousetrap car, bottle rocket, and this year we've brought in robotics. So today is a recognition of the students who were winners in the various categories, because we do compete in primary, junior, and senior. As well, today we're going to recognize the SECME Science Teacher of the Year. That is the teacher that has put the most into the SECME organization, one of the stalwarts that's always there, that's helping out, that's making it more enjoyable for the students and mentoring them, that sort of stuff.
Sixth grade teacher at Walter Parker Primary School, Cynthia Smith, captured the Science Teacher Award.
I am totally surprised in that I was in the company of very, very good science teachers. I'm only a primary school teacher, and I work with a number of kids, particularly from grade 5 and grade 6. And what we try to do is to teach them the aspect of SECME. And you talk about STEM, which is the science, the technology, the communication, and the mathematics. And the children responded very well to that. Walter Parker did very well in the competition, and I thank that to Miss Rami and Miss Rollin, who helped me greatly in that aspect.
The Rands Memorial Hospital receiving a much-needed donation today. The Bahamas Evangelical Churches is an organization made up of 15 churches with 3 on Grants Bahama. General Superintendent Pastor Cedric Beckel says they received 17 walkers and thought it fitting to present the items to the local hospital.
Someone who donated these walkers to us as an organization, but we thought it was best to donate them to the institution like the Rand, who could have better use for it than we could if we just distributed among our general congregation. So that's why we made the donation to the Rand Memorial Hospital.
Administrator at the Rands Memorial Hospital, Sharon Williams, and Chief Physiotherapist Little May McPhee says they are pleased to receive the donations.
It is very vital that some of the organizations and the community understand that as a public hospital, we cannot afford everything for our clients. We have quite a number of clients in our community who are unable to afford total health care, and in addition, once they leave our services, what the various items that are needed for their continued care, they might not be able to afford those also.
The walkers, we do have some patients who cannot afford a walker, and they need a walker. You know, some stroke people could use it, but not all, only if their hands working. Then you have the amputee, those that lose a leg, and sometimes they need a walker and cannot afford it, so they will be given a walker, and then we will use some of the walkers for practice for people who need to practice.
They are taking healthy living to a whole new level. We have heard of health-conscious restaurants, retreats, and fairs, but now a New Life Health Cruise is about to set sail later this month. President of New Life Vegetation, Jamal Munker, is continuing his mission to bring about a healthier Bahamas, and he is also taking that message to the international market. Munker will be hosting the Garden of Eden cruise this April, which is expected to bring in hundreds of guests to the island.
A couple from New Orleans, they were so impressed with the New Life product that they decided to make it an annual event. This year is going to be even bigger. We have people from Panama, Canada, US, even UK that's going to be coming over, and we have different speakers that's going to be coming, we're going to be presenting, and it might even branch off into convention because you have so much different things to offer, and if the government gets involved, then we can make it something that the island can be involved in as well.
Munker says that once guests arrived on island, they will be exposed to the natural plants found here in the Bahamas and the many benefits they possess.
Some of them never even heard about Freeport, and they're going to be coming here to experience what New Life have to offer, which is, I look at myself as an ambassador to the Bahamas because I'm showing people what's indigenous, our folklore, our traditions, our wild vegetation, how we can harness these plants and create entrees and dishes, delicious dishes with these dishes. So we just want to make sure that when these people come to the Bahamas in April and May, that they're motivated, they have something to do. We have the government involved, the Ministry of Tourism, all of the stakeholders is involved. We don't be alone in this. We don't want to be naked embracing these people. That's going to be stimulating this economy here.
Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama, Aram Lewis, is also on board with the Healthy Initiative. He is commending Munker for the move.
We are here to encourage it, and we hope that this will indeed bring major economic benefit, not only to Grand Bahama, but to the Bahamas, and of course will add to our medical tourism product also.
And now it is time to Ask the Doctor.
Hi, and welcome. A concerned mom sent this question. A couple of weeks ago, I went to the emergency room to take my child for medical attention for a high fever. The whole experience took almost a day because the emergency room was full of people. It seemed to me that most of those people didn't have to be there at all. Doc, isn't an emergency room just for medical emergencies? I love your question, and yes, in a perfect world, only serious medical emergencies would end up in a hospital's emergency room. When your baby is sick or hurt, it's hard to know what to do. Do we wait and see if the baby gets better, or rush to the emergency room? As a concerned mom, I will give you a few helpful tips regarding infants and children and when a trip to the emergency room may be necessary. Number 1, if there's a clear crying change. If the crying is suddenly extremely different from the baby's usual cry, it can be a sign that something's wrong. 2, strange skin color. Specific changes to look out for include turning blue, especially around the lips or face, yellow, pale, or mottled skin, or a rapidly spreading rash. 3, weak or limp muscles. Your baby has specific strength in his grip and supports himself in a certain way. If this changes, or if your baby feels unusually limp, weak, or different from normal, there could be something seriously wrong. 4, sudden sleep pattern switches. If your baby is sleeping much more than usual or acting less alert, or if he or she is difficult to wake. And lastly, unusual breathing. You should be concerned if you observe a slow, rapid, or labored breathing, flaring nostrils, belly or ribs moving unusually when breathing, or not breathing at all. If your baby shows any of these symptoms, go to the emergency room immediately. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
On sports is up next with Ricardo Lightbourne.
This portion of the news is brought to you by In Style Boutique. Be fashionable, be trendy, be in style.
Hi, sweetie. Could you give me
a high five?
No, honey. I was asking.
The remote control?
No, I want
a kiss. You're so pretty.
Get the KFC Big Box! 2 pieces of chicken, fries, coleslaw, corn, and our new cinnamon biscuit bites, and a 20-ounce drink. Only at KFC Freeport. KFC, always original and finger-licking good. Get the KFC Big Box!
Tesla City Tours presents the first futuristic car show this Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m. at Seabreeze Vacation Villas, Port of Call Drive. Falco Wars Auction is this Saturday at 8 a.m. at Executive Office Center, West Mall Drive. Auctioning TVs, computers, tools, hair, household items, and more.
ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Watch our live channel to keep up with what's going on in the nation. News updates, we've got you covered. Tune into our radio stations with just a swipe. On the road, on the go, we're here with you. Available for download on the App Store and the Google Play Store.
Everybody, it's Sports Number Ricardo Lightbourne. Let me tell you that the Sedurwood Knolls' 3rd annual Junior National Regatta officially opened last evening at the Grand Lucana Resort. Junior sailors from around the country here on Grand Bahama. Megan Shepard was there.
Sir Durward Knowles Jr. National Regatta is noted as the only regatta to travel to a different island each year. The competition this year is a bittersweet one, as it is being held in honor of the country's first Olympian, Sir Durward Knowles, who passed away in February of this year. Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, the Honorable Renwood Wells, officially opening the ceremony with a big commitment to the young sailors.
He was a true friend to the sport and was indeed an advocate for the sport of sailing being named our true national sport. And I want to say to you, as a fellow Olympian, I am convinced that it is the master's plan that I hold the responsibility of seeing that dream come true. The words of the Prime Minister and my commitment is that we will make sailing the national sport of the Bahamas very, very shortly.
All participants are between the ages of 8 and 18. Minister Wells encouraging the youngsters to go out and give it their best as they compete over the next 2 days.
To the sailors, I say to you, do your best. By being here, you have already accomplished an awful lot. Go further, push harder. The title national champion is yours for the taking. Claim it. Make those steps towards a bigger goal real.
Senator the Honorable Jasmine Turner Darius also in attendance. She says that regattas are a hallmark of Bahamian culture, which bring together Bahamians and visitors alike.
As a seafaring nation, boat building was an avenue to feed many families. It was and still is a very important part of our Bahamian culture. The Grand Bahama Regatta continues to be an intricate part of economic development on the island.
The sailors were also treated to a performance by Bahamian artist Stilit. Megan Shepard, ZNS Total Sports.
Well, day one of the National Junior Regatta was exciting at Taino Beach. The young sailors showing their talented and heated competition. Director of the Grand Bahama Sailing Club, that is Ross Dumudi, says that the 4 races were held on the afternoon session of it, and the sailors all had a lot of energy.
And race committee did a great job getting the 4 races in. The weather held up. It was a beautiful day, and the sailors did a fantastic job of getting around that course nice and quickly. Tomorrow we have the end of our sort of series, which is a 6-race series. So if everyone wants to come down around 10 a.m., 10:30 tomorrow, we'll be getting the races started. And after 2 races in the lunchtime, we'll be doing a knockout series with the sort of the best of each of the fleets. So it'll be really interesting in the afternoon in the knockout series.
Well, the sailors in the Green Fleet say while the weather was pretty good, they had some challenges with some of the waves out there in the water. Despite a little rough start, they were pretty much so pleased with the fact that they were able to sail at day 1. Now, they're also looking forward to getting back out there in the water for day 2.
I did all right because I came 9th, 3rd, and 5th. My least favorite thing about the game was about the start. I really didn't do well. At my final race, I started in 15th, but then I ended up in 5th. A first, a second, and a first and a third.
The weather, like, and the conditions out there, like?
Pretty good. Normal. But there was a lot of water going in my boat because of the waves.
Before lunch, I got a first and a second, and after lunch, I got a first and a second also. In the morning, it was a lot windier than the afternoon. The wind definitely dropped off. I was a little scared at first because of all the waves, but then I just got over it and went out and sailed.
Let me tell you, they had a great time today. Tomorrow's going to be great. Tomorrow morning, go out there, support our kids up there in Taino Beach. Yep, they're going to even show Megan how to sail. The only problem is put a life jacket on her because she can't swim. That's a look at sports.
More on Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979. Tesla City Tours presents the first futuristic car show this Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m. at Seabreeze Vacation Villas, Port of Call Drive.
Influenza or the flu can be serious, causing hospitalization and sometimes death. One of the best ways to prevent acquiring the flu is to get your annual flu shot. Flu shots are available free of charge at all community clinics. The following high-risk persons are encouraged to get their annual flu shots: children 6 months and older, pregnant women, adults over the age of 50, persons with asthma, diabetes, hypertension, or a weakened immune system resulting from cancer and/or HIV, persons in nursing homes, and healthcare providers. Additional information regarding the flu shot can be provided by your nearest community clinic or the Health Education Division at the Ministry of Health. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health in partnership with the Public Hospitals Authority.
Okay, Friday.
I'm not going to say a word. You're going out there tomorrow with those kids.
I'm an excellent swimmer. I almost made the Olympic team. No, it's not true.
Okay. So you show them how to be a rock in the water, okay?
I can swim, yes.
We can find out tomorrow. We can be up there tomorrow. Don't forget us 2 golf tournament first thing tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock tee off at the Reef, okay?
Yes, that's going to do it for us here in the North.
She's the rock, I'm Rick.
I'm Megan Shepherd. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
You got to make the best of what you have in front of you. And that's some of our problems. We don't know how to make the best of what we've got. You keep on looking out the window and seeing something better. And you think if you get that, that's what's going to make.
In the National Report, hundreds turned out to say their final goodbyes to former cabinet minister and parliamentarian Teresa Moxie Ingram. A husband and wife arraigned in court today on drug-related charges. And we introduce you to our Student of the Week. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts right now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
A final farewell for a champion and drum major for good. Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis. Former cabinet minister, senator, and parliamentarian, the Honorable Teresa Moxie Ingram, was laid to rest today. Jashina Robinson Blair tells us tonight that she was remembered as a warrior and a political giant.
From an R.M. Bailey teacher to a government minister responsible for weighty cabinet portfolios, the life of the Honorable Teresa Moxie Ingram was one well-lived. Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis hailed the Free National Movement's meritorious council member as a bold and courageous spirit, one who loved her country.
She was a friend of the poor and the vulnerable in our country. She was a fearless warrior in fighting for what was right, especially for the rights of women. She never, ever forgot her roots. Teresa Moxie Ingram was a true 21st century woman.
Mrs. Moxie Ingram was a master at adaptation for life's changing scenes. Although history will remember her as a female pioneer in Bahamian politics, the multifaceted Mrs. Moxie Ingram was so much more. St. Agnes Rector Reverend I. Ramfley Brown recalls just how seriously the parliamentarian took her faith.
Her first day in office, as a minister of the then government, she began with prayer with her priest. And she rose up to be a champion for the people.
Teresa Moxie Ingram wore many hats: educator, performing artist, marketing and communications professional, hotel executive, lodge sister, tertiary administrator, talk show host, one engaged in church ministry, and a noted parliamentarian. An industrious woman, not even an ankle injury confining her to a wheelchair for the last 2 years could slow her down. Along with the nation, left to cherish her memories are husband Kirk, daughter Odia, and mother Sally Hutchinson. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Tashina Robinson-Blair.
Infrastructural needs on the island of Exuma getting the attention of works officials. Jiminy DeSwain tells us more about the assessment tour.
The dock at Barry Tarry, it was a 40-minute boat ride to Farmers Key, where the delegation assessed the dock there and other infrastructural needs. That included the local clinic. Director of Public Works Melanie Roach on the initial assessment.
We would have to do some minor repairs to the dock just to make sure that it continues its useful life. We also took a look at the clinic, which was reported to be damaged in a hurricane in 2011. But when we looked at the clinic, it wasn't built to Bahamas Building Code standards, so there's really nothing else to be done but to demolish it. But that's a decision that the Ministry of Health would have to make.
One of the key focuses of these trips for officials is to prioritize projects to be financed in the upcoming budget. In Black Point, road paving is proposed.
One of the key areas that we're going to be looking at is paving an additional road there that leads to persons. As the community grows, they move farther and farther out of the nucleus, and so we are going to have to look at extending the paved roads in Black Point.
Now, another stop for the delegation was the site for a proposed all-age school here in Staniel Key, where a number of concerns were expressed.
I'm seeing this for the first time. Staniel Key has a small student population, I think anywhere from 5 to 10 students. This is a very extravagant design. I'm not sure how the Ministry of Works would have come up with such a design as this. But it's a very extravagant design. It is a very costly design. And from looking at the structure, I have some concerns with respect to the roofing.
Well, basically, we're going to just have to make sure that the contractor applies the proper waterproofing on the roof. And a particular concern would be the flashing where the roof meets the vertical walls. We're going to have to make sure that that's flashed properly because we would have concerns about water penetrating through the roof.
That project is one which will cost the public purse just over $2 million. Now back to the Exuma mainland, plans are also underway for improving the dock there.
Barry Tarry has a dock that perhaps is in most urgent need of repair. The good thing about Barry Tarry is that the government does have the plans for it, and this is something that we are able to look out for and put out to tender and seek to be able to do something about it, because it is not in a condition that it ought to be in. Particularly having regard to the number of boats and tourists that come through here to get into the Keys.
Now, while the minister and his delegation would have completed their assessments in the Exuma Keys, they plan to visit other sites on Exuma's mainland come Friday. Jiminy DeSwain, ZNS Network News.
Well, Area Member of Parliament Chester Cooper says he is pleased with the assessment taking place on that island.
I think this was a great opportunity for the Minister of Works as well as Minister Roll to see firsthand some of the infrastructural needs, but more importantly to see the economy and the buoyancy of the economy from Barry Tarry here straight down to Staniel Key, the level of activity with yachters and boaters and people on tours, and we see the activity at lunch at Black Point. So sometimes when you have to convey the needs of your constituency and you're talking about some small key in the Exuma Keys, there isn't a level of appreciation that's needed.
The government is looking to promote a healthier lifestyle, and in that vein, it's hoping to add healthier options to the breadbasket and price control list. During a town hall meeting at the T.G. Glover Primary School Thursday evening, Minister of Health Dr. the Honorable Dwayne Sands noted the current breadbasket has not been changed for decades, and those items such as margarine, canned meats, and sugar have turned the Bahamas into an unhealthy nation. He says the Bahamas is ranked #1 in cases incidence of diabetes worldwide and number 8 in obesity, with 80% of Bahamians considered overweight.
We believe that the social program that was appropriate, ideal, perfect in 1971 has led to the creation of a bread basket which, having served the Bahamas for all these years, is no longer appropriate for 2018. And that the health challenges that we're seeing is in part due to the price control support of these bread basket items, and that perhaps what we ought to do is to move to a better dietary approach.
Now the plan is to add items such as bean, peas, tuna in water, fresh oranges, and other items to the bread basket to encourage better eating habits. Chief nutritionist in the Ministry of Health, Camelta Barnes, again stressed that Bahamians are eating themselves sick.
Some of the major contributors to the rising levels of obesity and some of our non-communicable diseases that Minister Sands would have mentioned is too much fat, too much sugar, too much salt. Some of the foods, the current foods on the bread basket list: corned beef, sugar itself, sweet milk, too much fat, too much sugar, too much salt. Interestingly enough, the World Health Organization recommends a mere 60 spoons of sugar per day.
In news from our #1 industry, tourism figures continue to climb, with the Bahamas remaining a top destination in the region. Director General Joy Jibalou boasting that the Bahamas is recording double-digit figures and trending on social media across the region and the world. She listed several reasons why.
Increased airlift. Of course, we can never discount having Bahamar on stream, but it's every single property. When you hear Paradise Island, that they've had the numbers that they've had. In fact, they've experienced their very best season in about 20 years. So it's that everybody has done really tremendously well. We've been really proud of our social media marketing, the buzz that is created. It's created this destination of desirability. We're kind of sexy at the moment, and everyone wants to come and visit.
And still to come, we have an update on BTC's VSEP packages and a reception for the swim champions. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell and Lettuce, designed for extra miles.
Want to pay less? Or want to save more? Do both. Just bundle your bills into one low-rate loan with Commonwealth Bank. With a consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank, you'll enjoy one easy monthly payment, plus the chance to win $5,000. So move your loans from other banks to Commonwealth Bank and get ready to pay less and save more.
Every day you wake up with the world in the palm of your hand. Making connections and creating memories and sharing them with the people you care about. Every day the world is at your fingertips, and you can experience every blockbuster movie in stunning HD and top 100 Billboard music hit with the touch of a button. Every day, your family and friends are important to you, and staying in touch no matter where you are in the Bahamas or the world is your #1 priority. And that's why, every day for over 100 years, BTC has been there to ensure that every Bahamian has the best connection to the world. We cover every island, rock and key, regardless of the cost. This is BTC Country.
With KFC's Family Deal, everything is under control.
dad genius.
Enjoy our family deal with 8 pieces of freshly prepared chicken, large family fries, and 4 biscuits. All for just $20 including VAT. KFC Nassau. It's finger-licking good.
I love sunsets. Now that I'm retired, it's the simple things in life that are enjoyable. I couldn't say that a few years ago because I never thought of or planned for the inevitable, and I never considered the debt I would leave my family in.
BAF's final expense plan. Coverage up to $50,000 and it never decreases in value. Affordable monthly payments that never increase. Accidental death coverage and no medical exam or lab test required.
Now that I have BAF's final expense plan, I worry no more.
The time has come to fire them up. With grilling and summer season just around the corner, we invite you to come be a part of the best annual throwdown in Nassau. Bahamas Welding and Fire Grill Master and Grill Design Competition. This year's Grill Master contestants will compete to win the title as King of the Grill and bragging rights for the year. And don't forget our Grill Design Competition, who has what it takes to take home the prize as the best grill builder in town. Come and find out at BWF, Grill Master and Grill Design Competition. Choose your favorite grill team or visit in-store and purchase your own grill and make it a day for the entire family. BWF is the nation's leading supplier of welding, cutting, and safety supplies, industrial gases, and medical gases. Bahamas Welding and Fire, the best choice for the lowest prices in town. Located number 13 Wilton Street, telephone number 394-0004. BWF, we're more than just our name.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Bahamas Communications and Public Officers Union President Bernard Evans gave ZNS News an update on the voluntary separations packages issued to BTC employees as the company right-sized the operation. He also gave ZNS News the numbers and what they mean for the company and the union.
I think just over 105 or 10 persons applied. I think about 20 persons were denied. And so there's an uptake of just under 100 persons who have been awarded the visa. Management, as far as we understand, was desirous of about 150 or so persons taking the package. We knew that not everybody who applied would have been able to leave. So they're somewhat disappointed that more senior level persons did not take up the package. But we are also somewhat pleased that the persons who have accepted the package are those persons who believe that they have reached a point in their life that they can survive and move on without BTC.
Evans said in his estimation the process was fair, but there is one aspect of the deal that he is working to tweak.
We do have one major concern, that the employees who take up this package will not be able to work in this particular field for about 6 months. We're trying to get that reduced to even further, because really and truly there's only one place, given the skill sets, only one other company that they can go to, and so to be out of a job or can't take up another employment for 6 months is somewhat erroneous, and so we're trying to get that reduced.
A husband and wife were arraigned in court today on drug-related charges. Patrick and Veronica Bosfield appeared before a magistrate today charged with possession of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply and cultivation of dangerous drugs. Police allege that on Thursday, a quantity of marijuana was found in their home along with 20 potted marijuana plants. The pair has denied the charges and is due back in court on June 12th for trial. They've been remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections until then. In news from the crime beat, police also issued a missing persons bulletin today for 17-year-old Shavante Cambridge. Police described the teenage resident of Cordo Avenue as standing at 5 feet 6 inches tall with a dark brown complexion and heavy-set build. If you can assist police to locate 17-year-old Shavante Cambridge of Cordo Avenue, you're asked to call police at 919 or contact your nearest police station. Police here in the capital are also searching for 33-year-old Keno Smith of East Street South and Stuart Minor Exuma. Authorities describe him as standing between 5 feet 9 and 6 foot 1 inch tall with a light brown complexion and medium build. Now, if you can assist police to locate 33-year-old Keno Smith of East Street South and Stuart Minor Exuma, you're asked to contact police at 919 or your nearest police station.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's. I'm loving it.
I'm Altaviz Munnings, and this is your Royal Fidelity Weekly Market Recap. Weekly market activity in the market went down in terms of trade volumes and number of trades. There was movement in 5 out of the 35 listed securities on the local exchange. A total of 11,190 shares were exchanged, down from last week's volume of 38,085. There were 11 trades on BISX this week, down from the 31 trades in the previous week. There were no advancers this week. Commonwealth Bank Limited traded 5,640 shares to decrease 0.02 cents or 0.51% to a new price of $3.92 per share. Cable Bahamas traded 3,000 shares to decrease at 19 cents or 5.28% to a new price of $3.41 per share. Here's your Royal Fidelity investment tip for the week. Quit the comparisons. A quick way to drain your bank account is to drool over what your friends are driving, wearing, or doing on social media, and then try to compete. This has been your Royal Fidelity Weekly Recap. I'm Altaviz Munnings.
Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day. Every day, every day, every day. Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day. Every day, every day, every day.
Flow is once again lending its support to our junior athletes by its sponsorship of these Carifta Games here in Nassau. And one of the must-dos you have to do when you come out this weekend is check out our Flow booth.
Here at the Flow BTC booth, and we do have all of our sales team present here today, and they're actually uploading the app on everybody's devices, those persons who want to experience Flow sports. So if you want to watch wrestling and all of the great exciting sports initiatives that takes place, you can actually watch it through Flow Sports app. When you look at the Carifta Games, I remember when I was growing up, it was the Mary Ann Higgs, Pauline Davis and those. Now you have so many young, talented behemoths. They just need to be afforded an opportunity. So the Carifta Games, it's a vital sponsorship pillar for BTC and of course Flow.
All weekend long in the inside of the stadium, it is all about these junior athletes. But on the outside, Flow is helping to bring smiles to tons of its customers' faces. And we'll see you next BTC Connection.
Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day. Every day, every day, every day. Every day is a...
We start with a yes, but when life takes unexpected turns, you can still say yes to more. The Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card gives you points with every purchase that you can use to travel anywhere. Fly on any airline, anywhere, and anytime, with no blackout dates. Plus, with just 20,000 Scotia points, you can say yes to destinations. With Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card, it's easier to say yes to everything. Apply today.
It's the magical moment you've waited for all your life. It's the promise you make to love her, for better, for worse. Wedding Dreams begin Sunday, April 15th at the 30th Annual Bahamas Bridal Show for hundreds who will meet 40 wedding experts to help couples down the aisle. For tickets and information, visit buttonsformalwear.com or call 421-9783. It's the Bahamas Bridal Show, Malia Nassau Beach All-Inclusive Resort, Sunday, April 15th. You bring the romance, we'll bring the magic.
I've been a customer for the past 2 years, and I will say the quality of the service is very good. During my trip to Andros, I was connected the entire trip, so that was really good. I was able to contact my family members and let them know how the trip was going. We touched land, we're here, so it was very good, and I really appreciate that. And also during times like when we had the storm, it was really good to have that service to reach out to our loved ones to make sure everyone is okay. And I really appreciate Alive for that. And even when there's a little technical difficulty, they always send out a little text message to let us know exactly what's going on. I'm happy to be alive, and I believe in best.
Now, Vanessa, you look stressed though.
Girl, listen, I here on my little piece of lunch break trying to pay these bills. I gotta go head to BTC, then I gotta go fly to BEC, and then I gotta go swim to Water and Switch.
Girl, look, save your time and your gas, all right? Make one stop.
How? Take your backside to Cash and Go. You pay all 3 of them bills one time. It's one line, one place, with a bunch of locations. You think I should go now?
Vanessa, you ain't reached yet? Cash and Go. Fast, free, convenient. Call 322-CASH for more information.
Mangrove Key High School student Kenton Wallace was announced as the Cadet of the Year in the Ministry of Education's Future Teachers of the Bahamas program. The student was among several others receiving awards Wednesday evening during the opening ceremony of the national conference held at the British Colonial Hilton Hotel. The program started in 1995 in an effort to mentor potential future teachers. 2017 Cadet of the Year Denevia Seymour says the program has benefited her.
Being a part of the first English language advanced placement of the Teaching Cadet program, I am proud to announce my A in English Language 119 first year English class at the University of the Bahamas. So you see, the principles that you are taught and that are set at this foundation, the foundation being the Future Teachers of the Bahamas Cadet program, will indeed carry you through your university years.
Bahamian Home School Association President Cedric Moss addressed the group, saying besides his parents, his teachers made the biggest impact on his life.
You need to be willing to respectfully but firmly call them to fulfill the role that they have for the good of the child. So future teachers of the Bahamas, if you're going to inspire the whole child, first, you must recognize that teaching is a vocation. Second, you must recognize that education is more than academics. And third and finally, and briefly, you must recognize that inspiration is more than motivation.
She is a competitive force to reckon with and is quite active on and off her school's campus. This next night out of C.R. Walker country is not only an exceptional student but has a strong passion for the environment. And for that and so much more, she is this week's Student of the Week.
I almost couldn't believe it until I went home and I was like, oh my gosh, yes! I'm the Junior Minister of the Environment.
It was a deep-rooted love and passion for the environment that gave 16-year-old Carmetta Barry all the ammunition she needed to beat out her competitors and win the coveted title as the first Junior Minister of the Environment. Barry, who's not only active in STEM, the Life at Key program, and the Build a Bridge Club, also boasts of 10 BJCs with A's and B's and a 3.82 grade point average, the highest GPA in the 11th grade. This star-studded student says she's excited to start her journey promoting the environment of our picturesque little country and reflected on the speech that helped to propel her to the top.
Well, I wrote my own speech. I had to research and find the photos of countries like India and Japan and China, and then from there I went into explaining what is pollution and how it affects our environment. The whole competition was very stressful because it had 6 very long phases. And I had to stay up all night practicing my speech, trying to make sure I had every component down to a T. I had to beat up the other people. My speech included a comparison of countries like India that are highly polluted and China to the Bahamas, and comparing how the Bahamas can be in the future if we don't slow down on the amount of pollution.
The current vice president of C.R. Walker's Environment Club says after graduation she plans to realize her lifelong dream to become an environmental engineer. She also provides this recommendation to help make the surroundings more environmentally friendly.
It's just my passion. It has been for a long time. As a person, once I'm interested in something, I don't stay interested in it long, but when it comes to the environment, I've been interested in it for a very long period of time, so I know that this is my passion. It's my calling. I want to see improvements at the New Providence landfill. I want to see a furnace installed. because it gets rid of the waste a healthy way, and then you could have installation systems in the furnace which remove carbon from the smoke, so it'll be healthy for the air.
This visibly eloquent and ambitious future engineer says she also plans to assume the role as head girl of C.R. Walker High School. Meantime, she shared these words of wisdom to her peers.
To keep going, sometimes it may seem impossible and the competition is very stiff, but you can do it as long as you believe in yourself and put in the hard work and time. You got it.
The countdown is on to the Red Cross Fair, which will be held on Saturday on government grounds. The organization has a long history in this country, and Director General Caroline Turncrest says there has been a shift through the years from the fair being a high society event to one that is now open to the public.
Back in the day was more, especially the beginning, it was more a high-end social event. They had tea parties given by the Governor General's wives. And what I noticed, that there were a number of beer gardens. There were, it was like a high social event. Really people look forward to that. I think over the years it has evolved to more for the people, the entertainment for over the hill.
For those of you anticipating the launch of Samsung's newest devices to the local market, the wait is over as the Bahamas Telecommunications Company brings them to the hands of consumers. Sieska Adderley has more.
This Friday, the Samsung Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus will be available at all BTC stores across the country. This launch is highly anticipated, with hundreds reportedly having already pre-ordered these devices. BTC's device manager, Lakeisha Cooper, says customers are excited because the brand speaks for itself.
Bahamians, we like quality, and we want to have the best and the latest at all times. And the thing about it is that worldwide, it's not only the Bahamas, worldwide, Samsung is synonymous with quality. It's about understanding the customers and having devices that actually meet every facet of your lifestyle and budget.
Cooper says these devices boast of refined designs and Samsung's most advanced cameras yet. Now, some of those new features include a streamlined design, a low-light camera, and new emojis.
The S9 is a big device. Whether you get the S9 or the S9 Plus, if you use it to work with, you get to have that big display that allows you to see things, you watch your movies, videos. So it's about improving your life. The features, the ease of use, where I don't have to worry about paying for, certain apps, but functionality, Samsung has proven to me to be the best.
So if you're interested in any of these devices, contact or stop into any of BTC's locations. But if you have any other consumer-related issues, call me at 502-3871, and together we'll figure out who to call. C.S. Scatterly, ZNS Network News.
Stay close. Sports and Family Island weather are up next. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
If you own a portfolio of securities within a brokerage account, like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you can access a hassle-free loan, known as a margin loan, based on the value of that portfolio. Your investment portfolio is essentially used as collateral for a cash loan. And the benefits are numerous. Simple and straightforward application, quick turnaround, a more competitive interest rate, no requirement for monthly payments. Contact us for more information on margin loans.
The world is getting smaller.
We travel more.
We see more.
We do more.
So you need a bigger health plan like Premier Health.
You have easy access to benefits at home.
1 million U.S. providers accept your ID card
for college, vacation, and business travel.
With 24/7 worldwide assistance,
U.S. pharmacy benefits,
and 96% of claims settled in 5 days,
Premier Health offers you the care you deserve.
Atlantic Medical, where people come first.
CGIGroup.com.
Move forward, Bahamas, and build high into the sky. Move upward and colorize those new walls. Move onward and build a garden to last a lifetime. Move together and settle into that new home. There's a lot of places you can do it for yourself, but there's one place to do it right. Builders Mall. We know exactly what motto you live by, and even the pros know building is just a part of what we do. So move forward, Bahamas. And remember, you can find it all at Builders Mall.
The performance speaks for itself. Pennzoil Synthetics, made from natural gas. Make the switch.
And it's time now for a check on temperatures around our family islands. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us live in studio with the latest. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, LaDawn. In our second look at weather, we're going to take a look at temperatures around the Family Islands, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 75 degrees in Freeport, also Greentown, Key, Marsh Harbor, Abaco in the Berry Islands. The mercury column at 76. 77 in Allenstown, Bimini, here in the capital, 77. 76 in Harbor Island, Eleuthera, Roxanne, Eleuthera, Stanley Key, 77, and that extends right into Kemps Bay, St. Andrews, Fresh Creek in Central Andrews as well. San Salvador, Rum Key, Otterstown, Kid Island at 76. Georgetown, Exuma, 77 degrees. In Clarencetown, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Maguana, Acklands, and Ragged Island, all at 77. A little warmer in Matthew-Town, Inagua at 79 degrees, and Turks and Caicos Islands, 78 degrees. Your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Pink Setter. For all areas, light and variable winds can be expected with flat seas. They're going to be running about 1 to 3 feet over the ocean tonight. High tide, that takes place at 11:37, and then tomorrow in the northwestern islands, the winds will swing out of the south around 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights picking up a bit, 2 to 4 feet. Low tide, 6:58 in the morning with the high tide at 12:50 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands on Saturday, winds southeast to south, 10 to 15 knots. Your wave heights 2 to 4 feet, and as we move you into Sunday in the northwestern islands, your winds swing out of the southwest to west ahead of yet another cold front that is heading this way. Speeds around 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Low tide, that will take place at 7:55 in the morning. The high tide at 1:48 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands on Sunday, southwest flow at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights at 2 to 4 feet. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your travel forecast. And your travel forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Shore. And that's going to do it for your travel forecast brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 20 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. A cataract is a painless clouding of the natural internal lenses of the eyes. This clouding often blocks light, making it difficult to see clearly. Most cataracts develop slowly, and initially they don't disturb your vision. Over time, however, cataracts will eventually interfere with your eyesight and may even lead to blindness. In fact, the condition has been proven to be responsible for 51% of the world's blindness, a percentage which represents 20 million people worldwide. While the exact cause of the condition is unknown, cataracts have been heavily related to aging. Even though people who are affected by cataracts tend to be older adults, children may also be born with the condition and can develop it after suffering inflammation or eye injuries. There are also various risk factors such as inflammation in the eye, hereditary influences, and diseases like diabetes. Symptoms of cataracts include clouded, blurred, or dim vision, difficulty with vision at night, sensitivity to light and glare, seeing halos around lights, frequent changes in eyeglasses or contact lenses prescription, fading or yellowing of colors, double vision in a single eye. If you notice any sudden or persistent changes in your vision, make an appointment to see your doctor right away. Cataracts are detected through eye exams, which include a visual acuity test and a dilated eye exam. Although cataracts are relatively easy to treat, they cannot be treated unless they are found. This is why taking an annual eye exam is so important. If you suffer from psoriasis, see your doctor to help you control the disease. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
Look at all the food!
The Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources presents the 2018 Agribusiness Expo, April 13th through the 15th at the Gladstone Road Agricultural Complex. Come and enjoy fresh fruit, vegetables, livestock exhibits, arts and crafts, fun for the kids, and deals galore.
You think you can get it any better than that?
Expo 2018, April 13th through the 15th on Gladstone Road. See you there.
If you want to get a little spring in your step, then head to your favorite Super Value or Quality Supermarkets location for spring-worthy specials like Cardinal Cream large can, 89 cents. Chicken leg quarters 10-pound bag, 89 cents per pound. Rosoni ready-cut macaroni 14.1-ounce box, 99 cents. First choice sugar 4-pound bag, $1.99. Jumbo red seedless grapes, $2.99 per pound. Sunny Delight smooth, tangy 64-ounce or Sips drinks assorted flavors, 59-ounce size, 2 for $4.78. April is Buy Bahamian month at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Here's an invitation to the whole wide world. From your brother to your sister to your best friend's girl. Don't bring that bad day with ya. Leave it at the door. If you got money in your pocket, it don't mean nothing if you ain't where it is.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. On the heels of the Carifta Track and Field Championships, some concerns have been raised as to the makeup of some of the relay teams the Bahamas put on the track. B3's boss Rose Carey responded this way.
It wasn't brought to my attention until at the very last moment. I spoke to the technical director to see what could have been done and trying to see how we could best make amends. Tony Williams and I went around to see what the issue was. We didn't get to see the head coach, but unfortunately we could not intervene. The only thing I want to say is that to offer my deep apologies to the athletes that were affected and wait to hear the reasoning by the head coach on the decision that was made. You have to understand that the Coaches was recommended by the Coaches Association, which the Federation ratified. And given that stance, you know, you have to give the coaches the autonomy to put the best team forward. Not necessarily that you agree with what transpired, because you don't want any athlete to feel as if they were maligned, and you don't want to disenfranchise anyone. So I would await to hear to see the report from the head coach and to have that explanation.
After winning the overall title of the Carifta Swimming Championships for the 4th time in the past 5 years, members of Team Bahamas treated to a reception before they left Jamaica, and it was all thanks to one of our own as Teresa Turner-Jones welcomed the squad to our home.
To me, it's just hospitality. It's connecting with Bahamians and young people. They're so special, and they did such a great job. So for that, I'm really, really happy. And I know apparently I've been caught on Flow live stream with the cowbells. I've never used cowbells in my life, but apparently I used them, and it was caught on camera, so that's kind of nice. But it was fun. And the kind of work that I do, I mean, I'm in the area of development, right? So the Inter-American Development Bank, where I work, is and located here in Jamaica. We're in the business of improving lives. So when I see these kids excelling in a sport that's difficult and takes a lot of effort, a lot of training, I mean, it's just good to see, and I think we really need to keep encouraging them.
The Providence Basketball Association's Best of 7 championships set to tip off tomorrow night at the AF Adderley Gym. In Division 2, the Alive Buckets will match up with the Breezes High Flyers. For the Buckets, they'll look to keep the momentum going from their victory on Wednesday over the Cairo Contractors Resistance.
It's our first year in the league. We come to make a statement of we about to face the defending champions, who has a pretty good team, so we get prepared for them Saturday. I'm sure we can win. I'm sure once we keep playing our ball, keep doing what we got to do, and keep communicating, we'll be all right.
The championship in Division 1 comes down to a matchup between the Rockets and the Commonwealth Bank Giants. The Giants are still perfect on the season, and they know it won't be easy keeping that streak alive.
It's another good team, you know, to get, you know, the Bingston and Eugene, really the two pillars, you know, the team, so we got our hands full again, but, you know, we always coming for something.
Could that team take a game off you guys?
It could go either this way, you know, but in the end of it all, I think we're deeper, you know what I mean, so we'll be able to persevere through the next series.
The ladies held court on Thursday at the Donald Levis Gym. For more on that, here's Amajal Knowles.
2 games in the New Providence Women's Basketball Association last night, the first being the 3J Cheetahs versus the Foxy's Angels. The teams were gridlocked at 8-8 at the end of the first quarter, as the Angels started off a bit slow, but managed to get back in the game after they capitalized on a few Cheetahs turnovers. The Cheetahs jumped out to a 28-17 lead at the half, where in the fourth, the Angels managed to cut the lead to single digits due to the apparent fatigue on the side of the Cheetahs when they had 6 uniformed players. This lack of depth manifested itself as the Angels cut their nearly 20-point lead to 5 with just under 2 to go. However, the Cheetahs managed to hit enough free throws down the stretch to hold on to the 53-47 victory.
It was not a pretty one. We only had 6 players out today. We played against a young and upcoming team. That's a good little fighting team. I like that team because they have a lot of young high school girls. I got a bunch of old veterans on my team. They were the shape bad and they put a good run on us. But it was a good win for them. Good wake up.
And the second game saw the Boomerang Lady Operators take on the Lady Connectors. It was a relatively close affair through the first 2 quarters as the teams were only separated by 4 at the end of the first half, with the score being 28-24. In the third quarter, the Lady Operators got some hot shooting from Ruth Ann Sims, who knocked down several jumpers, as well as several blocks from Brittany Harris, who finished with 5 for the game. Lady Connectors made things interesting at the end, but the Operators managed to hold on for this 47-41 victory.
I don't know the few things that we did well, but, you know, thank God I got a group of veterans and they know how to play through a little bit of adversity. But basically, all in all, we just out of shape. We need to come out to practice and work good. We haven't had a good practice yet for the year, and that's all we basically need to do. Come out and just wake up.
For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Amajal Knowles.
The Cyberwest Basketball Club putting on its inaugural Easter AAU basketball tournament. It started today and runs through tomorrow at the AF Adderley Gym.
We know that there are a number of clubs in the Bahamas, especially in New Providence, that
that deals with the development of basketball for kids at the youth age. So we thought it would be good, and we call it a club, and the challenge is to see who's the best club in Nassau or the best club in the Bahamas. This is our first year. This year we're going to take it small, so we're starting off with 4 categories. We're starting off with under 12 boys and girls. We're going to do the 13-14 boys, and then we're going to do the 14-16 girls. And the reason why we extended it to 14-16 as opposed to 15-16 is because we find that we don't have as many girls playing, and therefore we want to give them an opportunity to play. And 14-16 is not too bad.
And just trying to expose them and continue to develop them. Hopefully in the near future they could be successful enough to receive scholarships. So this weekend we're really encouraging families and friends of these players in terms of the parents and uncles and aunts to come out and support.
The second annual UB Fit 5K, 10K Fun Run, Walk, Bike and Skate is set for tomorrow. Organizers are looking to build off the success they had last year.
The response was tremendous. We had over 500 participants. We raised $35,000 in donations and in-kind sponsorship. And so we're so pleased that the community is excited about this initiative and that it's growing beyond just a race.
Are you guys trying to match what you did last year or exceed it?
We're trying to double it. You know, the support has been tremendous so far, and we believe that we can do that. So this isn't only just a run. We have Race Village. So when you come back from the race, we have a concert with D-Mac as our special performer. We're going to have prizes, surprises, a health expo, and an opportunity for the community to come together to celebrate the University of the Bahamas.
The one-of-a-kind Bahamar Golf Course is open for business and is one of the toughest tickets in town.
The golf course has been fully booked, and especially this particular winter, all tee times have been totally taken. Standing room only, they would say, and booking times. That's why we are so happy to be able to fit in the Bahamas AIDS Foundation. We have made a commitment that we're going to have limited charity golf events on this particular golf course, in addition to our own Bahama Open.
And that will do it for sports, but stay tuned, the Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Whether you want to get going in a new car, to relax at home while you pay bills on your mobile banking app, to get the best rewards with your credit card, or to get a sure start on your little one's future. Whether you want a quick response on your loan, or just a range of services that keep your business running smoothly, you want banking that fits your life. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
Fabulous living. You just can't get enough of exciting travel, of sensational adventures, of delicious food, of great homes, and never enough good friends. Fabulous living, Bahamian style. We do it all.
Rise
and shine, Bahamas. The glory of the Lord is upon you. Tune into the Morning Glory Show with your girl, Divine Lady Vanessa Clark, right here on the Light 810 a.m. Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Morning Glory, yeah.
Hey, have you heard? ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Whether you're on the move or just kicking back. Miss something on the news? It's there. Want to keep up with a live update? It's there. Or just want to listen to your favorite station? It's there too. Download the app now from the App Store and Google Play Store.
Coming to you from Hollywood, almost live. It's Comics Unleashed, Hot Chocolate.
I don't know a full-grown man that weighs 107 pounds. And if you do, the last thing you're looking for is a fight. You looking for a doctor to figure out why do I weigh 107 pounds? I must got a tapeworm or something. Something wrong with me. I mean, who exactly are you fighting? Crackheads, supermodels, maybe third graders. That's it. You ain't fighting nobody at 107 pounds.
We are their mentor. And when we live long enough to see them succeed, then we know that we have done a great thing, because that's what we're here for.
Once we get to the kids and we can get Jesus in their heart, then if only we affect one child, that child goes to school in the neighborhood where they might have at least 30 children in the class, and time they spread that good joy, that would be tremendous.
You got to make the best of what you have in front of you. And that's some of our problems. We don't know how to make the best of what we've got. You keep on looking out the window and seeing something better. And you think if you get that, that's what's going to make your, oh Lord, this is what's going to make your life better. But I need to tell you, you need to make the best of who you are.
Join us this and every Sunday at 8:30 a.m. for Faith Touch on ZNS TV 13.
Hey, I'm Megan Shepard, a reporter here at the ZNS Northern Service. Did you know that ZNS is right at your fingertips when you download the new ZNS app? Miss something in our newscast? That's okay. Simply pull up the app, swipe, and you'll find all of our news headlines and highlights. So what are you waiting for? Download the new ZNS app today.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, the cloudiness moving off towards the east along with the shower activity as well, but we'll still have one or two little sprinkles lurking around, and that's because the high pressure is collapsing, and with the warm temperatures and light winds, that could fire up one or two brief showers, but they will certainly be in pockets, so some of you may get it and some of you may not. That's just the nature of these pop-up showers. Frontal system across the southern United States trying to get organized. That will eventually move towards the south and east rather slowly. We expect it to hang up over the extreme northwest Bahamas for a few days, so it seems as though we'll be in the warm sector right into the early part of next week with temperatures getting up into the mid-80s, and then thereafter, during the early part of next week, it will make a final push towards the south and east, and hopefully we will get another slight cool down once that frontal boundary goes through. Our forecast tonight looks like this: patchy cloudy, somewhat on the warm side as those temperatures starting to get up a bit into the upper 60s, 68 degrees for your low temperature. And then tomorrow, we're looking at partly sunny and warm, 85 degrees for your high temperature. And once again, without the wind factor, it's going to feel a little warmer than that 85 degree. 7-day forecast getting even hotter as we get into the weekend. We're going to start popping some upper 80s right into Tuesday of next week, get that frontal system going through, and then those temperatures start coming down, just slightly heading into the middle part of next week. But one thing we are certain of, there's going to be enough sunshine for us to go out there and enjoy all the outdoor activities that we love. And we had young Ferguson in with us for the past week, a student from Aquinas College who's been understudying Wynn's Gator, chief cameraman here. And what did you learn from Wynn over the last week?
Well, I learned how to operate the cameras and learn how the news actually goes live, and I also learned how to operate the cameras.
And what was it like working with Gator?
I mean, he was a little strict.
Yeah, that sounds like
Yeah, it sounds like
him.
him. Yeah, but I know Vince and Ted Jervis, they had only good things to say about you. So congratulations on what you've done here. We hope to see you back here sometime soon.
Yes, you did an excellent job this past week, and we hope to have you back here.
Thank you so much.
And it was good having you. You made me look very sharp over the last 7 days. Thank you. Huh?
Thank you so much. And with that, we end the Bahamas Tonight, the national report for all of us here at ZNS. I'm LaDon Davis. Make it a great evening, everyone.
We play just like your kids. We text just like your kids. We learn. We even cook. We take selfies.